watching Neoprism live streaming. Live stream starting soon. You're watching Neoprism live streaming. Live stream starting soon. You're watching Neoprism live streaming. Live stream starting soon. You're watching Neoprism live streaming. Live stream starting soon. You're watching Neoprism live streaming.
All right, welcome back to the PBA50 Loveland Southwest Open.
How about a good
Elimination.
morning? How about a good morning, Mr. Warner?
Hey, watch your mouth. This is what I deal with. This is why I'm turning it over to Mr. Honeyman here in a few minutes.
You're killing me.
Absolutely. This is going to be elimination round of 16. They're going to bowl 6 games today and then cut to the top 8. Pins do
okay.
carry over from yesterday.
Interesting.
After 16, they're going to take a break because they're going to oil the lanes. Recondition the lanes is the technical term for what it's called.
Redress.
Exactly.
Yes, I like it.
So they'll redo the lanes, and then we'll be back with round 8.
Yep.
8, they'll bowl 4 more games and then cut that to the top 4 for our stair-step finals. So
Yeah, it looks like they got about 2.5 minutes left of practice. So
absolutely. So when we come back, it'll be Mr. What is your name? Hernandez and Mr. Mike Honeyman.
Man, I've been off the air for a while, and this is what I come back to. Oh, my goodness. And we are back, getting ready to start game 1 of the Southwest PBA50 Regional.
We're in Loveland today.
Colorado, Sweetheart Lanes, as they say, Sweetheart 10-pin bowling. What a great house this place is.
Yes, it is.
I've had fun in this place.
We all have, I believe.
All right, so on the screens, it looks like we're going to have Dwayne Steinmetz. Let's see, Steve Badavenik, Ricky Schisler, and Chris Hibbets, the third, I believe? The second.
Second. Yep.
Okay. This is one camera. What's our camera situation look like today?
Looks like we are on lanes 5, 6, 7, 8 is our one of our auxiliary feeds, and then our main feed is coming in on 13, 14, 15, 16, and in between there is, or at the end here is 17, 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
That's going to be our second auxiliary feed.
So you can find those as well on YouTube. Well, I believe there are 2 extra feeds on there besides
Yep.
the main one.
Yep.
So Feel free to jump back and forth on those.
You'll be able to see everybody today. Looks like Steve starting out with a strike there. Saw a lot of strikes being thrown in practice. It's a little bit different than yesterday's.
Yeah.
Yesterday's qualifying.
Interesting.
Oh,
There's a whiff. I'm not sure that's how you want to start out your. Well, I guess if you're going to open, that's probably the first place to do it, is the
Yeah.
first frame, no
best
matter
place
what.
the best place to do it.
Yeah.
Not the tone you want to set for the round. but
No, definitely not. But like I said, it's definitely early, so. And they got, what, 6 games today?
Yeah.
Okay, so plenty of time.
Points carried over though, so that's pins carried over, so that's
Yeah, that could hurt a little bit.
that could hurt a little bit for sure. But max score is still 279, so
Yeah, Chris Ibbotts goes high for a 3-6-10. Yeah, the famous 279, I believe that's Mr. Warner's.
yeah, we call that a warning.
The Warner 279.
Yep.
I love it.
I think we've all witnessed at least one.
I've done it once or twice,
Yeah.
maybe 4 times.
And Chris Ibbotts cleans up his spare. Dwayne Steinmetz had a great last few games of the qualifying round to put him in the mix here. So
Well, that's good. Yeah, I was kind of watching it a little bit yesterday as much as I could, so there's quite a few players that actually bowled very well the last 3-4 games
yeah,
to sneak in or get in. So
Dwayne left a 6-pin there.
one name comes to mind is Felix Garcia.
Yeah.
He made a run
Yep.
because I think he shot like 137, like game 1 or game 2 or something like that.
Yeah, we had him on our feature pair yesterday morning, first game, and he shot 137. We thought, uh-oh. But that's what the experience of a grinder
Yeah, definitely.
grinds
Yeah.
it out, right?
You grind them out, never give up. All right, so Chris Ibbotts went spare strike.
Dwayne cleaned up his 6-pin. I was noticing earlier, this is a Dwayne heavy squad, or Dwayne heavy round.
Roster.
Yeah, we've got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Don't usually see that.
Mm-mm. So,
Ricky recovers from his missed 7-pin. Managed to get a strike there.
so it looks like our furthest traveler is Russell Hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
coming from
Walla,
Washington.
Walla, Washington.
Walla Walla, Washington.
You might be dating us if I said something like that. Acme out of Walla Walla, Washington.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm as old as the competitors
Yeah.
today, so
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm slightly behind, so.
Yeah, but you're used to being slightly behind.
Yeah, yeah. Until the end when I'm just zoom by. All right, it's just the trips out of 2 on the 210. Steinmetz looking at a 6-7. Ooh, almost got it. So is this the only feed we're gonna see today, or?
This is the feed we will use as our main.
Okay.
We can switch
Okay.
periodically, but
Just like normal.
yeah, just
Okay.
like I said, we have a shot of everybody. So
Excellent.
Steve had a good good qualifying round yesterday. He had a pretty good look there towards the end as well. And he carried that look over to today. Pretty good shot right there.
So what are they bowling on?
It is the 46 foot, I believe, Petraglia.
Let's see if we can find that real quick.
We have an overlay of it.
I don't remember if I seen it yesterday or not.
When our producer comes back, I think we have an overlay of it that we can put down.
Let me see. Oh, look at that. Got it right there. Yeah, Johnny Petraglia. Yep, 46 foot.
I believe it's, what, 25 mils? 26 mils? So it's longer and a little bit spread out.
Yeah, it looks like it's built up in the middle. A little flatter across the edge, or the edges.
What we saw yesterday is that the ball was real snappy if you got it, if you missed left, and if you missed right, it was in jail outside for the
Oh, that's interesting.
first couple games.
Yeah.
They started to open up around game 3 or 4, but
Well, yeah, I don't think we're going to see that today.
no.
Not with just 2 players on a pair. So,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
what they have, like 4 on a pair, 5 on a pair.
4.
Actually, 4.
They
Yeah.
have 4 to a pair. Well, speaking of our producer, he's in camera right there.
Interesting. All right, Dwight Simons for the strike after the open.
Yeah. All right.
There it is.
We managed to get our producer to pop up the overlay of our oil pattern. So there's the graph of it. So as we were saying, you can see it's built up in the middle a little bit and
A little flatter on
a
the
little
edges.
flatter on
yeah.
the edges. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So, I know in some houses like this pattern would be very inducive to playing on the outsides if the gutter's in play. I've done it before, so I don't know. I'm not out there, so it's hard to say what it looks like here.
Well, when you get to be over 50, and you'll experience this at some point, sometimes that doesn't work.
Yeah, I understand that, But I mean, Sweetheart being the house that it is, it's been here at Sweetheart. Carrying's a little tough sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
My experience is I've got to hit high flush for me. That light or very light.
Yeah, the mixer.
Yeah, so.
Was you can see Chris Hibbett's got his ball a little bit right, and it just never made the turn. So it looks like there is some out of bounds outside. If you miss right a little bit, you're going to see some trouble.
Yeah, and that could be because of the breakdown too, on how the 2 players broke down the pattern as well. So.
Yeah. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of time to break much down, but they did have 10 minutes of practice this morning.
Yeah.
So. Steve stepping up here. That's a wrap 10.
Definitely a rapper. Very quiet. I don't think I've been in a center that's been this quiet in a while.
Well, it is pretty early in the morning.
Well, even some of the other ones we do. All right.
Well, we are in the pro shop as well. So.
Well, that's true.
Our booth today is set up in the pro shop here at Sweetheart. So we have some comfortable accommodations, and we're kind of separated from the concourse. So.
Which is nice. I think we should do this all the time if we have the
Yeah.
availability, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. So we can still switch around, right?
Yeah.
So we don't use.
No. So we can go to 5,
So we're using what, 5,
5 and 6, 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of move around just a little bit. So we got Mr. Bailey. I believe that is Mike Bailey.
Yep.
You got Scott Roberts over to your far right, and then you got I believe that's Tony Franklin
Yeah.
on the left there.
Mike had a good day yesterday, Mike Bailey. Yeah. Had a pretty good look there for a while.
Nice. All right, looks like Robert is going for a 3-4-7.
He's going for it. Opted to try to cover the spare instead of going for the 2.
Yeah.
Might get some mixer there.
Wonder what he's throwing.
I believe that's the same hammer he was throwing yesterday. That blue hammer.
That NU hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got a Scott Myers. Good shot by Roberts.
That was a good shot. Scott Myers made a pretty good run yesterday too.
And I felt he was pretty strong all day.
Yeah. He's going to be towards the top pretty much anywhere. So.
Okay. And then we got Rich Corin on lane, what is that, 8?
And that was what we saw yesterday. If you're in just a little bit, you're going to pay a penalty.
And Chris Woolley on 12. See, Myers is working on. He's on a Dutch 200 pace, so see if he can break that here.
I didn't even know he was Dutch.
Well, he
There you
does. And let's see what Corin does here.
We'll covers his 10 pin.
Oh, man. Ooh, almost got
Yeah, I
it.
thought he had it. Moving back to our main feed.
Actually, we should go over to the next camera where, I think, was it 5 or is that further down?
We'd be 6.
Or 6? Okay, yeah. At least
Nice.
get an eye on everybody who's on the camera feeds. So you got Felix Garcia, Brett Cromwell, Dwayne Mellinger, and Clint Dacey. Yeah, okay. So that's your next camera view. So, like we were saying earlier, we will have everybody on the cameras today. So.
Ringed in. I think Felix is on pace to beat yesterday's first game.
Well, I would say so. Ooh, well, high for 4-9.
May have spoke too soon.
Where's Clinton from? Is he from here? No, he's from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Blanchard, Oklahoma.
Can't say I've ever been there.
I'd have to agree. Can't even say I've even been close to there, so.
Dwayne's playing?
I think he was right around third arrow during practice.
Yeah, just outside of it. And we saw a lot of that yesterday too, where it was just a skosh outside and it wouldn't make the turn.
Just never make it.
There's definitely a small window down lane to start. It does open up nicely though.
So I noticed there's a lot of, 8 players that were 100 over basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep. And they'll be, we said earlier, they'll be carrying their pins with them, so that's it's a pretty good advantage to be plus 100. Nobody got to 200 yesterday. We thought we were going to see at least someone get to 200. Didn't quite get there. We saw scores that would get up to about plus 160, and then
Kind of just
and then
flatlined a little.
fall back a little bit.
Yeah. Better shot by Dwayne.
Oh, we saw a few of those yesterday. The stone
the
eights.
famous 8s, huh?
Stone 8.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's the thing.
I don't think you make an adjustment off it for so
First-hand experience, I'm going to say no.
it's just a bad break. Just a bad break.
I don't know if it still holds true, but I know back in the day they said that's probably the best break you can leave because
Yeah.
that means you're throwing the ball well.
Yep.
But then again,
Well, and theoretically, to pick up the spare, you just throw the same shot.
right, theoretically, yeah. I don't know. I still move a little bit. I move a couple boards to the right just because my luck, I'd miss it to the right. If I missed it for the first shot, I'll probably miss it for the second one.
Yep.
That 10 by Felix.
Yeah, and that was a flat 10. And the difference between flat 10 and wrap 10 is.
Yeah, yeah. Is the 6-pin just kind of lays into the gutter. Kind of just rolls there. Ring 10 is when you see the 6-pin just run around the top of it and call it good. And then you got the straight stone 10 where nothing's trying to hit it.
Yeah.
So it's variations.
And in today's game, you have the messenger that comes off the wall and gets the 10.
Yep, see like Dwayne, he was a flat
Yeah,
10
that was
there.
a flat 10. Ball's just not quite driving through the pocket. Felix covers his.
So it's interesting because flat 10s, I've understood how we leave flat 10s. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but when we leave a flat 10, we're actually catching just a little too much of the 3-pin.
Yep.
And it's pushing the 3-pin just left of the 6, and the 6 is pushing right. And it just kind of falls in the gutter and just rolls there.
Yep.
And we're only talking half an inch,
Yeah.
if that.
Yep.
So
And some of that has to do with angle coming in too. You can sometimes get a mixer if you even if you hit too much of the 3-pin and you're coming in at the right angle, you can
you can still do
run
it.
it
So.
out. But, so then, how do we explain the ringing thing?
That I haven't figured that one out yet, because I mean you could hit the 1-3 the way it's supposed to be hit, and the ball deflects properly or whatever, and I haven't been able to see why you leave a ring 10, but
Maybe we'll ask Lucia to tell us when she gets done and gets back from her coaching training.
maybe.
Maybe she can enlighten us a little bit. Us old guys.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I think they were holding a silver and a bronze class, so. All right, so looks like you've got Steinmetz working on a strike in the 10th.
looks like they're going to both shoot 205 on that pair.
Nice, interesting. Well, looks like no change between those two players, so Steinmetz holds a 5-pin lead at plus 85, so now he's going to go to plus 90.
And Steve's going to go to
85.
plus 85.
Yeah.
What's Ricky doing there? He's on a 4-bagger. Chris Hibbett's shot 181, so he gave 19 back.
So unfortunately, that puts him down to about what, plus
Yeah, he's going to be at
20-ish,
21. Yeah.
Schistler can probably move up. Let's see, he's on 240 pace.
Yeah. That's a pretty good shot right there. So he's going to shoot 230 something.
Yeah, 230. Yeah.
So he's gonna move up a bit here.
Let's see, he was at plus 51, so that's going to move him up to around plus 80.
Yeah. So he's going to be in the mix there with 88. Puts him at
About 89.
So he can go around Steve at this
Yeah.
point. Oh.
4-9.
Wow. Well, if you're gonna leave a 4-9, you're gonna want to leave it there, right?
Yep. So that puts him at plus 86.
So
Yeah.
he'll
So what's going on down here? You got Rich Corin shooting 208. Scott Myers shoots 229. Mike Bailey shoots 181 with an, is that an open in the 10th? Can't tell.
can't tell. Yeah, that's 181 with an open in the 10th.
Let's see, Scott Roberts shoots 190.
Is that 190? Yeah.
195 it looks like.
I gotta put my specs on.
Let's see here. Christopher Woosley, he's going to shoot 190 as well. He's going to shoot 197 possibly. I'm sorry,
190.
Well, he can shoot 202.
He can shoot 202.
Okay.
And yeah, Scott Roberts shot 195. And
Ooh, that's
201.
another one. Another 8-pin
Another
today.
8-pin.
What is going on already? So many, so quick.
Yep. And we'll move over to 6.
Let's see here. Felix is working on a spare. I'm sorry. He went open spare in the 10th, so he can shoot 140.
40. He's got him right where he wants him. That's where he was yesterday to start. Fewer games to get it back, though.
So looks like
There
he
we
made a
go.
ball change, so Felix shoots 148. So that puts him 52, so he is now minus 55 after that game.
Brett shot 190.
Looks like 190. So he loses 10, so that puts him at minus 27, so that's
Be a little bit of movement on the board.
yeah, it's gonna be hard to climb all the way up. So
Yeah.
I mean, your cut line, they're already 100 back on the cut line.
Yeah.
So wish those two bowlers well today. Hope they can find something in the next 5 games. Go 300 over, call it good.
Yeah, there you go.
Never know.
We've got a lot of experience here in the field, so.
So the only one we didn't see is Maloney. Kevin Maloney, and I believe he was on, what was that, 5 and 6?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes. Did we see Russell?
Nope,
He
we
would have
didn't
been a
see
5 and
Ro.
6. Yeah.
Okay, so there are 2 players we didn't see yet, so it's possible we see in game 2.
Yeah. And that was your leader in your second place. So see what they did.
It's an interesting leave there by Schisler.
Yeah,
What is that? That's the 1, or is that the
1, 3, 5,
7?
7. I'm not sure how you leave that.
I'm going to have to go back and watch it later because that was weird.
Dwayne cleans up the bucket here.
So, pun intended, you think that fell off his thumb a little?
Or fell out of his second handle.
Could be, yeah. Not enough rosin on it. I'm sorry.
It was definitely the first shot after moving, and
Yeah.
something went awry.
Need to figure that out. I'm going to see if I can see it real quick. Because that was interesting.
And then he followed up by going high. Taking a look here at Chris Woolsey. That one goes high. Looks like Ricky missed his.
So he went open.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Oh. A bit of a lucky break there for Steve Bodvinik. After the first game, we've got Russell Hunt holds first place.
Looks like he lost a few pins.
Lost a couple pins. It was at 171. Scott Myers moves up to second with plus 168. Rich Corwin is in third, moved up. Kevin Maloney dropped to fourth. Tony Franklin's in fifth. Christopher Woolsey is in sixth. Mike Bailey is in seventh. Scott Roberts is at 8. And then below the cut at this point, we've got Dwayne Steinmetz at plus 90. Ricky Schisler's in 10th. Steve Bedovinik is in 11th. Clint Dacey's in 12th. Dwayne Mellinger's in 13th. Chris Hibbets is in 14th. Brett Cromwell's in 15th. And Felix is in 16th.
Interesting. Okay, so I did go back to see what Schisler had left. He had left a 2.587 is what that was. So, I mean, our camera view and where we can see this, it looks like it's a head pin. So we should be a little bit more on top of our game about that. But
nonetheless,
yes.
That's not a lead you see every day.
No. Well, yes and no. All right, so Scott Roberts. Can we get the leaders up? I think they'll be on 5. technical difficulties there. Our bad. So Scott Roberts looks like he opens there. So not a good start for him the second game. Looks like he went 7 split 2 count. You just seen the miss there.
Steinmetz mixes them up.
Looks like he's throwing a purple hammer.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
He's got a look. He was able to open them up a little bit earlier than everybody else yesterday.
That's what it looked like. In reference to the purple hammer, it's got to be the pink or purple dot purple hammer. Or did they take that out completely?
That's a good question. I do not know.
Because I know the green dot purple hammer is not allowed. So
Those are all urethane, right? It's a lot of motion for a urethane ball.
well, that's Scott Roberts throwing it too. So
That's true.
But you know, I could be wrong. So I know there's a few players that had to struggle or figure out how to get new equipment for this weekend. So
And why are those out of play?
USBC determined that they were too soft. So you know, PBA kind of follows guidelines as well. So. But I could be wrong, so I do believe it's just going to be the new black hammer, the 78D black hammer, and then the IQ Tour, the U78. So
Yep. And those are the 78 signifies that they're 78 hardness, right?
correct. So as time goes on, those balls will soften up, per se. I guess from the many studies that they have done.
So the equivalent to soaking back in the
Back in the day,
Back in the day.
yes, yes. Okay, so got some info. Scott Roberts is throwing a dark web.
That is much different than the
Purple hammer,
than the purple
yeah.
hammer. Yes.
So with a fresh 1,000 on it, I believe.
Ah.
Our camera angle's a little different. Our shading up here is a little different too. So some balls just look like what they are.
Well, I can tell you that they're mostly round.
Yes.
Dwayne Steinmetz has that mixer working now.
Okay, I guess I can see that. It's a little darker than that purple, so just a little bit.
When that ball hits, it hits like a truck.
It does. That's a pretty good comeback here from open to start off his game. Quick way to erase those opens. Keep striking.
Keep striking. You got to pile them on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Tripped the 610. See, Dwayne Steinmetz is sitting, he is below the cut, but as we saw yesterday, he grinds them out and finds a way. And Scott throws another strike there. Christopher Woolsey throws a pretty convincing strike there.
I like that, yeah.
I'm looking out our window here, and I'm seeing some struggling as we move towards the high side. Steve Badavinic just left a 4-6. Christopher Woolsey again with a strike there.
Seeing a little transition, looks
Yeah.
like, starting to happen now.
Fair share of splits out there.
Yeah. Looks like, what is that? 17, you got the 3, 4, 7, 10.
Yeah. Got the 2.
I believe that would have been by Hibbets. I think they're just sliding a pair to the right. I think I slide and then skip.
I am not sure, but that sounds right.
It's been a while since I bowled regional, so about 20 years. But I might touch the one in August over at Holiday.
Holiday?
Yeah. I might get my act together and get some jerseys.
I might bowl in that one as well, just because I grew up bowling at Holiday. So.
Yeah.
Not that I expect to do much damage in it, but it'll be fun.
Just go back out there, yeah, have some fun. That's good.
Ooh, man, that thing hits. Scott's definitely got the early look here, that's for sure.
Yep. He's 100 over, so he's the
Yeah.
number right now.
Yep. And Dwayne Steinmetz has a hot hand too.
Yep, he's on 5 in a row. So he went strike, open, spare, next 5.
Yep.
I think Woosley's working on a double or a triple, I can't tell.
He is on a double at the moment. Now he's on a turkey.
Last time we were here and mentioned the ceiling fans. We need to try to figure out how to get around those.
It's pretty difficult when,
Yep.
when you're trying to get multiple pairs. We can do it by getting a little bit lower with the camera, but if we do that, then we lose our ability to show you multiple pairs. And so we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Sooner or later.
Maybe we'll just bring drones in next time.
That'd be kind of annoying,
Yes.
sitting behind you and bzzz.
They're getting quieter.
Light 2-pin by Woosley.
Daisy just threw a pretty good strike there on 19 and 20 for those of you watching that feed.
Yeah, I can't see what Mellinger's doing. I got a big old sign in front of my face too, so.
Yeah. I mean, you could roll your chair that way just a little bit.
Well, then I would have a. Well, you know what? No excuses.
It doesn't hurt you to stand up and move a little bit.
Unfortunately, okay. Now I'm like halfway out the pro shop now, so.
Hey, you haven't gone past your leash. So.
Yeah, that's true. Need to invest in some wireless here. So Dwayne's working on back-to-back spares. So
Steve Badvinik is struggling on this pair. Just amazing how from pair to pair it just comes and goes.
well, yeah, it does. You know, and this was the group before them.
Yep.
Kind of throwing a little bit of urethane down the middle, so it makes sense.
And that's going to be our championship pair.
Oh, interesting. Robertson's his streak of 5 with a 3.610. It's not a bad comeback from the start of that game.
Yeah.
Still looking at you. 230.
And Dwayne Steinmetz stays on his string.
Dwayne can punch out for 250.
258.
Yep. Oh, that's a ring and
That's a
10
ring
right
and
there.
10, yep.
So I would assume just by seeing that the ring and 10 would be the same hit as your flat 10. Maybe just a touch more of the 3-pin than a flat 10.
Yeah, I think so. I think in that case, is it the 3 or the 6 that goes around?
It's the 6
The
that goes
ratchets
around. So, because the 3-pins,
Yeah, it goes straight back. I think
yeah,
that's
it's
when
going
the-
straighter,
when the
going
ball
back
comes-
straighter. Yeah.
The ball comes in a little bit behind the head pin and throws it. He cleans that up.
Bucket crumbler on 17. That could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that was by Mr. Hibbets, I believe.
No, that was
No?
Ricky.
Oh,
Ricky
was it?
Schisler.
Oh, okay. Didn't see him standing there. So we heard an interesting term a couple weeks ago that you said it about coming behind the head pin.
Mhm.
I heard that the ball doesn't come behind the head pin. It's just not to the head pin, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that-
Okay, so.
and- Yeah.
And I know we've always heard about that. Or we're growing up, balls behind the head pin, this and that. It's just the ball never made it to the head pin, basically. So
Yeah, and I think the term
behind.
the phrase is coined because the ball, it actually gets past where the ideal point to hit it is. So when we say it comes behind the head pin, it's that it gets past where it needs to
Correct.
actually hit it to be a good pocket.
Correct. Yeah.
So it still hits it and it looks like a good hit,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No.
Not.
It's just not high enough. The angle is a little shallow.
We've argued in the past on road trips about what constitutes a pocket hit.
Right.
And sometimes a pocket hit isn't exactly a pocket hit.
True. You know, I got some other tidbits too about the perfect pocket hit and stuff like that. So we can get into that here in a little bit, maybe during the break or
That'll
something
be
like
fun.
that. Yeah. So it kind of gives a whole new thought and things that we've been taught back in the day growing up to new things that are seen. And if you actually go back and watch some of it, you're like,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So we got all day.
Yes, we do.
Oh, there's a roller on 18. That was by Hibbets.
So Dwayne Steinmetz finished out with a 244
So
in
that's
that game. He's going to be a mover.
going to put him at 130 over.
Yep.
So he's moving up the ladder quick.
And having bowled in other tournaments with and against him, he's good at doing that. He climbs the ladder, and when he does, he does it pretty convincingly.
Oh, Woodley misses that.
That's costly.
Yep. Lost at least another 20 pins off that.
Yep.
Oh, 15.
15.
So that puts me shoot 205. So I'm not sure where that puts him. So Woosley, so that's going to put him at plus 133, 132. I'm
And
following the ticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means that Dwayne's 44 is going to put him right there in the mix, right?
Yep. Roberts comes in for a 10 pin. So Roberts is going to shoot 214 possibly. That's going to put him about plus
20, right?
Yeah. Let's see where he is at.
Covers a spare. Yeah,
So yeah,
he's
plus
gonna be
20.
a plus 120.
Well, since we got a little bit of a break here, so we'll talk about that perfect strike thing real quick. So I know as we were growing up, we've always been told to split the 8-9.
Yep.
The ball goes through, hits the 1, the 5, then split the 8-9. So the new concept that I've heard, and that makes a lot more sense, is your true pocket and strike is the 1, 3, 5, 9.
So more deflection.
Yes, correct. I like that. You picked up on that. That's awesome. So what we were taught, let's put it that way, your ability to control that proper ball deflection is going to predict whether you're going to strike. And if it's done right, you will strike 100% of the time if your ball goes 1, 3, 5, 9 in that order.
100% of the time?
Mm-hmm. I will contest to that, and I will. It's been proven. So we actually did a little drill to help us see that, and it made so much sense on how that ball path through the pins and the deflection.
Well, enlighten me on this drill.
Well, we need a box of pins, and we need to be up on the concourse, things like that. So it was very eye-opening because if you think about it, you know, you hit the 1, 3, the 3 takes out the 6, 6 takes out the 10 in order.
Yeah.
Okay. The 1 hits the 2, 2 hits the 4, 4 into the 7 in that order, straight back, just basically like that. Okay.
All right.
So as the ball gets to the 5 pin, 5 pin takes out the 8.
And the ball takes out the
ball takes out the 9. Yep. But if you actually look at that path, because it's like this,
yeah,
the ball goes right between them, all 4 of those pins. That's the only part of the rack that the ball should hit for a perfect strike.
Gotcha.
So
So the notion of continuation through the pins is you actually want more deflection than continuation left.
Correct. Correct.
And see what you always wanted to see the ball exit the deck
In between the
in
8
between
and
the
9.
8 and the 9.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's just...
It's just not preferred. There's a more preferable method.
Yes, nowadays there is, yes. Because back in the day, remember growing up, that was the days of urethane, so
Yep.
we had to figure out how to strike properly in the right way. And back then it was the ball has to split the 8-9.
But that's also because we with urethane and even before with polyester balls, your hook happened in the front part of the lane.
Correct.
And you had the hook set.
Correct.
So and it would set and it would roll. So you kind of had some of that deflection. It was hard to get the ball to go.
Continue on. Basically,
continue
yeah,
left,
because your deflection was so massive that
because the ball didn't have any continuation.
Yep, correct. So, and then there's another thing you touched on, but then we'll touch again later.
Excellent. No, that's and that's where the term the urethane 10-pin comes from.
Correct.
Is the ball deflects too much.
Yep, and it's driving too far, too hard, deflecting too much and going straight into the 9.
Yep.
So here's our first look at Mr. Hunt.
Well, that's a good looking strike.
Yeah.
He had a great day yesterday.
And Mr. Maloney as well, so. So those little tidbits that I was just telling you about, they come from a very well-known PBA Tour player.
Name.
He was here last week, I believe, for the U.S. Open Senior.
Okay.
So, and he's done a lot of work, and this would be Mr. One Brad Angelo.
Ah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. Really great guy.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of work with Rick Benoit back in the day.
Yep.
So back in the early 2000s, things like that. So a lot of this knowledge, or should I say insight of the way the game has evolved, comes from extensive research and testing and whatever else you want to call it from Mr. Benoit. So I do recommend, if you want a different insight on the game of bowling, look for a Bowl U camp. So
yes, that's a good plug.
yeah, they offer, I believe, 3 different camps right now. They're working on a 4th, I believe. So
excellent.
Very good knowledge, very good insight. Helps you think about things in a different way than what we've normally been thinking about things. So makes sense.
And how long are the camps?
It's usually a weekend. So.
That is good to know. And you can find those by,
you can, I believe you can go to bowlucamp.com for a schedule. So I think their next one is in San Jose and then one in Atlanta. So there's a couple of them here and there. So
on the topic of pocket hits, that is a pocket 710.
How I could, yeah. But I tell you what, this place, if you can hit these pins right, they will bounce out.
Yes.
So,
and I've heard, Tale, that to attempt to cover this, you go away from the ball tunnel. So if it's on the right lane, you go for the 10 pin, and if it's on the left lane, you go for the 7 pin. I've covered it twice, and both times it was, the first time it was the 10 pin off of the right lane, and it was the 7 pin off of the left lane.
Oh, really? Interesting. Actually, you know what? That makes sense because about a month ago I covered it when we bowled the Masters here, and I believe we were on 15 and 16, and I believe it was on lane 15 that I covered it on, to tell you the truth, and I hit it on the 10 pin side.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was crazy because it was an authoritative cover too. So I was like, wow. So, but yeah, pins are lively here. So
yeah, they are. Let's see if Russell can recover from that 710. Sounded like a ball change.
Yeah, I believe it was. I like his game. Really, for being a tall player, he's very short and compact.
Yep.
I like that game. So every time I see Corin up there bowling, it kind of reminds me of Kretzer, because you know how Kretzer always did the practice swing. His style almost emulates him too.
Yeah, it's
Very close.
close.
And Brian Kretzer was one of the good players back in the day.
Yep. Cover.
It looks like he's throwing a Summit Peak.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So I got a little insight on Mr. Hunt. So he actually rooms with Brad Angelo while they're out traveling. So
really?
yeah. So
So he must be getting some of that knowledge.
yes, as a matter of fact, that's what's been told to me, that he's a big Bull U guy. So
Okay.
and then it makes sense. So
Yes, it does.
and the one thing too, if anybody out there is listening, if you decide to do one of these Bull U camps, Zach Enders from Highland Park, he tries to hold one a year, from my understanding, maybe two. It's hard to say. So, but the idea is not to forget what you've learned, but to go in with an open mind about all the things you've learned over the years, and then just kind of listen and take what's being said and look at your game and the way the game's played in a different way. So. And on Sundays, Zach does do a little bit of lane play up there, I guess you can say. So around 9 o'clock in the mornings, sets out a pattern, sets up the lanes like they did when the Bowl U camp. So
nice.
You can go up there, and I think he charges like 10, 12 bucks or something like that. So for the lane for a couple hours. So. Very good stuff. So,
Good to know.
yeah, I highly recommend it. So,
It's just getting there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, now that I know that, so if I'm not doing anything on a Sunday and not bowling, then I'm probably going to be up there. As long as there's nothing going on up at the center, is what he said. He'll have it. So.
Good. Yeah, I don't imagine they did that the week that they had the Senior U.S. Open. All right. Maloney is on the front five. So looks like he's got pretty good control of this pair.
Yeah, so we're in game 3 of 6 already. Wow.
It goes quick.
It does.
And when are we're re-oiling between
This round and the next round.
this round and the next round?
Round 6.
That would be, as we discussed yesterday, a triple-double. And after game 10, we now have Mike Bailey in first at plus 196. Scott Myers is in second at plus 189. Rich Corwin is in third at plus 179. Tony Franklin is in 4th at plus 152. Dwayne Steinmetz moved up to 5th at plus 134. Christopher Woolsey is in 6th at plus 132. Russell Hunt is at 128, plus 128 in 7th. And Scott Roberts
Made that big jump, yeah. Well, not big jump, but enough.
Yeah, is in 8th at plus 120. That's the cut number. So Ricky Schisler is just outside of that at plus 91. So
Followed by Kevin Maloney. So Kevin was in second to start off the day, and he lost about 50 pins in 2 games. So he must have had a rough start, but he's making up for it right now in game number 3. So
he's done something with that double-double,
yeah,
or triple-double.
Hey, listen to you.
Clint Dacey is at plus 84, so we got guys hanging around. But as we run out of games here, it looks like it's going to take about 120, 130.
That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We just commented on his triple double.
Imagine
But
that.
He had lost 50 pins in a couple games.
In 2 games, yeah. So
He's
getting those back and then some.
clawing it back. See if he can keep this string going.
Just off camera. Looks good. Ooh, maybe not. Get out.
And
So
that was a little high.
I noticed something. He grabbed his elbow immediately. So I wonder if he's having some elbow issues.
I don't know. I don't know if he grabbed his elbow because it was bothering him or if he just was.
I didn't see that the first couple shots.
Yeah,
so
I didn't either. He does get around it, so that tends to be a
little painful, maybe.
can be a little stressful on
Yeah.
the elbow. All right. We did note yesterday there were no 300s,
Okay.
and we thought we might see one today.
Maybe.
So
Well,
let's
still got plenty of time.
keep our eyes peeled here.
Excuse our general manager of the Bowling Center there.
He's walking the concourse, making sure everything is in order.
Our producer is messing with the camera, so bear with us.
It's not you.
Nope.
It's us.
We called him out.
And see. Lonnie can make a little bit better shot here. Oh, and he rings a 10.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. So, you might be right. You might have just grabbed it on the last shot just because.
Because
As
he
far as
knew-
elbow, yeah.
I think he knew he missed it.
Yeah.
So that on Corwin's setup, that swing, is that? What do you think that?
Well, I mean, everybody has a reason for what they do, right? So, to me, that's just to make sure you're staying in the correct swing path that you want to follow, as well as making sure your grip pressure is okay.
I was going to say,
things like that.
I feel like it's probably to seat the ball in your hand, right? Because
I can see that, yeah.
if you're getting it up here,
Yeah.
and then when you get to here, the ball puts itself in different positions. So if you started in that position,
Could be, yeah.
So.
Could very well be, yeah. I mean, like I said, we all have our reason.
our our producer Weisenheimer over here is
Bringing back some
He's-
Steve Hoskins stuff.
he's doing some illustrations for us.
Great old Steve Hoskins. Never used, only you held the ball with one hand
Yep.
down by his leg and then up and gone.
Wayne Webb did that for a long time too.
Yeah, he did.
He did that. Yeah.
Well, Learn had both hands on it. Hoskins just had the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wayne Webb would.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
That was back in '95, wasn't it? '96. Yeah.
Yeah. That's huge.
Back when the PBA was really big, bowling in arenas and stuff like that, stadiums.
Yeah.
Bob Learn Jr. holds a 4-game record on TV. Can't give you the correct number on that, but that was pretty impressive. He averaged like 260, 270 for 4 games, so it was very impressive.
Yeah.
So
Who held it before that?
I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Well, I know who can.
I was gonna say we need a statistician.
Yeah, well, he took off.
We use our internet statistician here.
Yep.
Oh. 4-7-10 there for Maloney. Is that right? Lane's giving him fits all of a sudden.
Excuse me. So he went high, and then did he make an adjustment, or did he just?
He just went high again. And that one was high. Tony Franklin, last year's winner of this event, I believe. Just crushed a strike.
So I'm a little quiet because I'm kind of going through the PBA records here, trying to see what we got going here.
Rich Corwin on lane 16 throws a pretty nice strike. And oh, Kevin Maloney, first ball in the 10th, sails wide. He went front 6, open spare, open 6 count. That'll put the stops on your upward climb.
Yeah, big time. All right, so I found it. Bob Learn Jr., 1996 Erie, PA.
Erie, PA.
Yep. 11:29 for a 4-game series on TV.
Wow.
He went 300, 270, 280, 279. Averaging 279. That was impressive.
That translates to 4 non-strikes.
Pretty much.
So he had 1 game with all strikes, and then 1 game with
two strikes.
non-strikes.
Yep.
2 non-strikes, and then one
game with
with
not,
one.
and another one with not. So
Wow.
that's pretty impressive, though. That was back in the day, though.
Wow. And 96 was like just the beginning of reactive resin, right? 1993.
Right around in there, yeah.
3 through
Yeah,
is when resin started to become pretty popular.
Yep. Yeah, because I believe it was called the Excalibur, was the first resin ball, and I believe that was in like 94, 5-ish, somewhere around in there.
That was 93.
Could be 93, yeah. I used to have one of those. Those things were cool.
I never had one. My first reactive resin ball was I think it was a Columbia Beast,
Beast, yeah.
and it was a beast.
All right, so Russell Hunt looks like he's working on 7 in a row.
A lot in a row.
Did you get that one? Can't tell. Yeah.
He wouldn't get his head out of the way.
So he is now
So he's
on 8.
he's making a run.
Yeah.
And we'll have an updated ticker here in a little bit. They're bowling so fast, it's hard to get the scores.
Yep.
So only 120, or shot 222. Russell Hunt's going to shoot. It's going to be in the 240s? 220. So that the fan must be blocking a spare.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I assumed he was on him because it didn't fill in.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we can't see that it didn't
Yeah.
fill in that frame. We're watching on our screen as well, since we're in the pro shop, and we can see the fan, but it blocks some of the screen. So
oh, nice one.
covered
Nice.
that. Nice. So Russell Hunt shoots 224. Kevin Maloney shoots 222. Tony Franklin shot 218. And Rich Corwin shot 171.
So, if that's going to be our championship pair, it looks like the players are going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be interesting.
I don't even know all the names out there. Yeah, that's a you problem. I got your you, buddy.
I think Russell's looked pretty strong. Russell Hunt. Kevin Maloney's had his moments, but he's starting to fall off a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can pick one.
I don't think I can pick one either.
We've seen Tony Franklin. You think? He's that's definitely a possibility. What's Scott Myers doing? I think he's a definite contender.
I don't have mine. So for those of you following on PBA.com, the scores are not updated. Just FYI. Yeah. Still after A games. Yeah.
Well, it does go quickly.
It
So
does.
it's hard to get those scores updated.
It does, yeah.
And we are starting game 4
4 of
of
6.
6. Oh, and we start out with an 8-10. And we're getting into crunch time now. Every split
Yeah, every split's going to make
is going
a
to
big
make it
difference.
that much harder.
Yep.
Every split, every missed spare. On the converse side, anytime you can double, you need to double.
Yep.
And then after this, we'll cut to 8, and then bowl 4.
Correct. And then from there,
And then-
top 4 go
Then seed
on.
'em.
see what Clint or, Hunt does here. I don't know why I called him Clint. It's not a Clint. Maybe he looks like a Clint. I don't know.
Well, we've got Clint Dacey up here too, so they don't look anything alike.
No.
So I don't know what you're thinking.
Probably nothing right now.
That made that a lot easier, kicking out that 9. Looks like we're going to see Felix Garcia and Brett Cromwell on 13 and 14 here as soon as they finish up with game 3. Or game 3,
Have they already moved across the house already? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Looking out our window here, Scott Myers just tickled him down. He's at plus 221. No, I'm sorry, he's at plus 205 at the moment. Mike Bailey's at plus 221.
I need to go back and look at that because I don't know if he threw a backup ball or what. That kind of threw my mind. Russell Hunt for that 3-6-10.
He throws at those left-handed.
He did do that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I thought.
We noted that yesterday. And the question was asked from the channel.
Is that allowed?
Explain if that's allowed, and it is. It is on the PBA tour.
Yeah, it's not like the USBC rule where you have to.
You don't have to establish an average or anything.
Yeah, you don't.
No handicap.
Nothing like that. But on the USBC rule is you have to. What's the word I'm looking for?
You have to establish an average with both hands, and you have to finish with the same hand you start with. You
Correct.
You can't
Can't switch out
in
throughout the
any
game.
given set.
Yeah.
And you have to specify if you're right or left-handed. I believe you can
Yes.
bowl right or left-handed in, like, switch off, but
No,
I'm not sure. No, not during a game. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you can during a season.
Yeah, during a season you can because
Yeah.
I've
Because
heard
you have to, but you have to establish an average, and you have to declare which hand you're starting with.
Correct.
And you have to bowl with that hand throughout
Correct.
competition.
so that's the difference between the USBC and the PBA.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, coming back. So yeah, so either way, it's possible, but typically, whatever you declare you're starting with, what you have to bowl with. Now you can bowl 5 leagues and bowl right,
Yeah.
left, right, left, right, left, whatever you want to do, but you can't switch like you can here in the PBA. So
Yeah. Which is difficult because if you're going to switch to your left hand and you don't have a slide shoe on your right foot, that makes that a little bit harder.
Here's our first look at Felix Garcia and Brett Cromwell. So
Let's see.
Felix went high for a 3-pin. So we got some updated standings after 11 games. You got Mike Bailey at plus 221. Scott Myers is at plus 205. Tony Franklin is at plus 170, as well as Dwayne Steinmetz. Russell Hunt is at plus 152. Rich Quarren is at plus 50. Scott Roberts at plus 132. And your top 8 is Christopher Woosley at plus 128. Notables are Kevin Maloney. He is roughly 19 pins back at plus 109. Clint Dacey at plus 97. Chris Hibbets at plus 84. Schisler at plus 74. Badavenik at plus 40. Dwayne Melander, that's a surprise, plus 18. Brett Cromwell is at minus 68. And Felix Garcia is at minus 82.
And we finally eclipsed that plus 200 mark.
It took 11 games, right?
Yeah. But
talked about this a little bit yesterday. Have you ever seen, when you were talking left, right, strike,
Uh-huh.
or correct, right-handers, they'll go and then shoot with your 10 pin or whatever, left-hander, right? Have you ever seen a left-hander shoot something right?
I'm going to say no. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It might be a product of there's just fewer lefties, so we've never seen it around here, but maybe.
Yeah, that could be. It's a numbers thing then.
'Cause
So if you got like 20% of right-handers do it, you probably got like 1% of lefties doing it, if that. It might even be.
if the percentage is the same. In this tournament, we had, what did we decide yesterday? 7 lefties out of 45 entries.
Mhm.
So 7 out of 45. The rest of them are right-handers. So even if it 1% of them, if 1% of them throw at spares,
Opposite hand.
yeah, you're going to have 0 in the left-hander column.
True. Well, yeah.
And we did note that even with two-handers, we see two-handers that will throw a two-handed back up.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But you don't see any left-handed two-handers throwing left-handed
Yeah,
backups.
that's true.
And I think some of that has to do with just if you're in a position where you're throwing your right-handed two-hander and you're backing it up, you're probably doing that because you're just the right side is just toasted.
Yeah, it's
And
right,
so
no matter what.
You're looking for some skid somewhere before you.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah, and I just don't think that they get that same kind of burn up on the left side.
Yeah,
so.
there's no way. So.
But definitely being able to be versatile enough to play both sides of the lane is a feather in your cap if you can do it consistently.
Does anybody know of a player that does that?
That does.
Backup, two-handed,
Yeah.
regular, anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Yeah.
And he's only like 25 years old or
Simons
something.
has won tournaments doing it. So.
Yep. both stateside and abroad.
Yep.
So
That's one of those things that he started doing it young enough that he can do it.
yep. Very successful at it too.
With my advanced age and broken body,
Ain't gonna happen.
it ain't gonna happen. I'll save that for the next time around.
Yeah.
So Maloney has changed balls. That looks like the Vibo.
Maybe, possibly.
So that's a asymmetric pearl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that a hybrid?
It's a pro.
I should know that. I have one.
Oh, Felix trips
Felix
a 4.
trips the 4. That's a good shot. Russell Hunt's staying in the hunt. Pun was intended on that one.
I picked that up. Let's see if Felix here can find 3 in a row.
He's starting his climb a little late, but
Looks pretty good.
got it.
Kick it.
All right. He's got
3 in a row.
this game and 2 more. If he can just strike out the rest of the way.
Yep.
he's,
Messenger by Mr. Hunt. You may have knocked it off the lane, but it's still standing, buddy.
I believe that counts as 9.5, right?
It could be. See, even the machine didn't even recognize it.
That's the 11 pin that he left there in the corner.
I used to like leaving those. Those are fun. Cromwell's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, he is.
So another interesting tidbit too, the 3-6-10, 3-6-9-10, any combination of that. Would you rather leave that or something else?
Something else.
Why?
Well, yeah, it depends on what something else is.
Anything
that's-
but the 3, 6, 9, 10.
It's such a choppable. It's such a choppable
Okay.
split.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
Huh? Yeah. 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 It does.
So another. No, you're right.
Very rare you see us shoot a 2, 4, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't leave.
That's true.
That. I think that plays into the angles. The angles
Yep.
again. That you just don't get that inside out with sharp back ends.
Figure out what the left-handers are doing.
Well, I would
Not,
chalk.
not moving off of 10.
I would chalk that up to better ball motion. Let's put it that way.
On the right side,
On the left side,
they have better ball motion on.
because if you're not seeing a lot of the 248, 248.7 or whatever like that, then yeah, meaning the ball's not making that sharp jump off the end of the pattern, or whatever you want to call it.
So less ball motion, not
Proper
better
ball motion.
Proper ball.
Proper ball motion.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's an angle thing. It's
Proper ball motion. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
it's they're, they get when you
That's okay.
start,
It's
you,
okay.
you start talking about half circles and hockey sticks, right?
Pretty
Less
much,
hockey stick,
yeah.
more half circle.
So yeah, and this is just stuff that was learned over my last couple of weeks about proper ball motion, stuff like that. So, like I said, it's a whole eye-opening concept of the game. So, you know, and with the 3, 6, 10 combination, Brad had said he would rather leave that than anything else, whether it's single, multi, pin, or whatever. Yeah. He would rather leave a combination, yeah. Because to him, in his mind, he's thinking, well, I'm just that much off from being a strike. So, you know, and it's easier to adjust off of that than a big 4 or something like that, you know
So
what I mean?
you're saying leaving it but not having to pick it up.
No, still pick it up.
But I mean,
yeah.
what you're asking is, would you rather shoot at that?
No, would you
something else,
rather
or
just leave it?
that?
Would you just rather leave it?
If leave,
Yeah.
I'd rather leave an 8-pin.
Well, either way. No,
So-
not pick it up.
so-
Just leave it, because that
Oh yeah, no. So I'd rather leave an 8-pin because I know I'm close.
well, same with the 3, 6, 10 combination, because there you're just that much closer. So, in the concept.
Yeah, but I'm closer with an 8-pin.
So even a 3, 6, 10 is closer to striking than leaving just a rig pin. I would argue that. Rig pin's got to be closer to striking.
They're all
would
within
think. about the same,
because it's
Yeah, exactly.
it's based on the
Yeah,
entry of the ball to the
Yeah.
to
Is
the
it
1, 3, 5, 9. So
Yeah. You missed the 3. Yeah, you were too hot. You were too much.
you
Although
didn't- you didn't catch enough of the 3, or you caught
you
too
didn't
much of the 3.
You didn't catch any of the 3.
Yeah. So, but things like that, you know, it's. He explains it a lot differently, you know. So, and it's
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, you know, and it's just a concept of helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And
open your mind to different concepts.
I think that depends on what your how well you know your game, right?
Correct.
So he knows that if off that adjustment he's close, he's just that much.
He's
just needs to
either-
be, because if you're ringing a 10-pin, that means that you're probably not getting to the pocket, right?
No, you're in the pocket. You're just.
But you're not
yeah.
not getting to it. Like the
Yeah.
ball's stopping before it actually gets. So if you're leaving the 3, 6, 10, you know that all you have to do is make that little adjustment. You've got the right ball motion to get into the pocket where you need to.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. Yeah, yeah. So.
Yeah.
There could be a number of things, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather leave an 8-pin.
You're still going back to that.
Like, I'll throw it there one more time and see if it works.
And then if it don't,
Yeah.
then you're
Because you.
me. In a game, I've left 3.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, and this was years ago.
I've done that.
Years ago. I mean, I'm lucky if I leave 1 now. So I don't. Well, I wouldn't even say lucky, but I'm tempted to leave at least 1. So
I left 2 at Nationals. Not in the same game.
yeah.
What spare does he believe, especially lately at least, 1, 2 a night in a 3-game set? An odd leave that most people don't leave at all.
The odd leave.
That most people don't leave at all, but he's going to leave 2 in a night.
Sometimes at least 1 a game.
It's got to be that 3-6-4, 3-6-7 combination somewhere on there. No.
7-10. That dude would lose 7-10
7-10.
every game.
Really?
It's my soft speed and 14-pound ball.
I would never.
I've left it back to back.
I've done that.
More like
Oh,
just
like-
this season, this summer season, I've left it back to back multiple times. Do what? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
The, no, because I can do it anywhere.
Well, that's true.
I did. I left 1. I think I left 1 of everything at Nationals. Any 7-10s in Kansas? Wichita. I did. I did. But I think it was only 1. And it was in the first team event.
Oh, speaking of 8 pins,
Yes.
that is the 3rd one today that we know of.
Once again, I'd rather leave that than the than the 3-6-10.
You know, I left 1 at Nationals too, a 7-10. Yeah, and then I left it at the BJ too. Oh, Felix gets the swisher.
There we go. Yeah, it's you what?
I'm sorry, oh, which one was your 3-6-10? I got 3-6-10. What's that?
At Nationals?
Yep.
No. That was the first game, right? The first game of team when you came out of the gate with 3 opens in a row.
That's funny because let's bring that up when we bowled team there, and we made the run the last game to get to where we were for 6th place at the time. I went strike, 6-10 chop, 3-6-10 chop, and then around the sheet. And I'm just like, wow, if I could have just done anything those 2 frames, you know, it's like holy crap. Yes, you are. Yeah, I think the women's side we're a little softer this year. Yeah, well, you know, it's okay. What do you mean by that?
No, they don't get any check. So then you have to take your stuff to the squad. Women put it at the lane and then they walk out.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I mean, I was like, put the ball down there and walk out. It's fucking easy. But so they don't have their equipment down there. And they just say, this is what I didn't discuss with Spade. I didn't know that we were allowed to nickname someone before we say your name. Go. Because several women had nicknames up there. Now they go.
Interesting.
Craziness is we have a dress code. Specifically women's dress code says no leg. I see more women in leg bowling than walking the street. I can tell you that. That's all it has. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Rob's just jealous because he wants to wear leggings. Nationals. He must have wear his yoga pants. Too.
Oh, Maloney.
Then there was something.
Why don't they combine the two?
The men
Yeah, and it's the same association. It's the same association.
last time they had it, men and women could talk. So I had a mixed one. It was in Vegas. There's another thing back. So there, I think we're pulling the women. Yes, women's and they put them mixed together, so they break them in. So we go up. We go to the plazas upstairs. Go to the bowling center. We sign up for the mix. It's cool. We're all that. And lo and behold, they're all, oh man, we don't have enough people for the squad. We'll refund you. We'll send it to you. I'm still waiting on that to come back. And that was probably 2011.
Wow.
It's still waiting to clear. So hold on. Give it a few more years.
That's what I was saying. My last bet. This is what I've been arguing with for a long time. Nobody can explain to me, and I get it. It's not what these problems say, vendor problem. But if you take a picture, a single people take a picture, take out the part of your body, and if you buy two or more, then you cut your deal. But if you put your two teams together, now you're required to buy five. Period. It's insane.
And I've got to hear this argument
Year after year.
every year for the
For the last years. Yeah, well.
All right, looks like we're wrapping up game 4 here. So we're
He says he's done venting.
I'll believe it when I see it. Looks like Felix can close this game out with a was it 217?
227.
227.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Cromwell can go 23.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice ball by Felix there.
I think he's made a good ball choice.
I think so too.
And ever since what, the last game, game 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been doing okay.
It's hard to make ball changes when you're struggling
It is.
because you never know whether it's you or the ball.
Right. Right.
In my case, it's almost always me.
Yeah.
In fact, it's always me.
Yeah, and I go the other route. It's always the equipment. I mean, there's a reason why I bring 9 balls.
I've tried to at least for local competitions. I try to limit myself to 3,
Understandable.
just because if I can't do it with the 3 that I brought, there's something that I'm doing wrong. If I can't get close.
Right. Right. Understandable. So I'm the opposite. I'd rather bring 9 and use 1.
I guess I'm more of a minimalist.
Yeah. That's fair. You know. I mean, there's times where I've brought 12 and used 1. There's times
Yeah.
where I've brought 12 and used 10.
Yeah.
You know. And if I'm going through that many balls, then that's me. Definitely me.
Yeah.
Carry.
Nice ball. Nice ball. So
That's
Felix,
good. Yeah.
Felix closes that one out.
I'd like to
227. He's going in the right direction.
Yeah, I'd like to see him to get to 0. Well, he ain't gonna make it to 0, is he? Well, he can
Yeah,
get
he
there.
can get there.
He can get there.
He has to have a big last game.
Yeah, big last game.
I think getting to the cut's probably out of the question, but
Maybe a little bit with 1 to go.
yeah.
2 to go. Well, no, I think. Well, yeah.
Yeah, game 5 and 6. Yeah, because we're in 4. So yeah, 300, 300.
Yeah. Yeah. There he goes
Brett trickles him down.
for 4 in a row. Seems like the pace has slowed down a little bit today,
Yeah, I think
or these last game or so.
it has, but we're
And I chalk that up to just the transition and Now everybody's being a little more cautious of what they're doing.
I think so. Or is it that we're striking less?
Both.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not striking at all, but there may be fewer strikes out there. And it might just be that people are getting a little more deliberate because it's getting to crunch time and
Yeah.
wanting to evaluate every.
Yeah, they're getting a
Might
little more
be real
cautious about what they're doing.
Careful with every shot.
Yep.
So both Brett and Felix are going to move up a little bit here. And I think they're going to stay in the same positions, but they're both moving back towards even.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
All right, so I think we can. All right, and we're starting game 5 here. Clint smacks him pretty good. Speaking of smacks,
Yeah. The day's still young.
the days.
I've already counted 5.
All right, we'll get a look at Dwayne Mellinger here. He's struggling a little bit this morning. He's back to -2.
And Dwayne's one of those players where he's got that concept you have. He only uses 2 balls.
Yeah.
And
He uses them a lot more efficiently than I do, though.
yeah, and in my personal opinion, I'd like to see him have at least 2 more options, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, Mellinger is a fabulous bowler,
Yes.
very accomplished bowler.
One of the best for a long time.
Yep, he's Colorado State Hall of Fame.
A Hall of Famer.
Yep. So.
And I believe he's a super senior this year.
Yep.
And that hung on him a little bit out there.
He was on the companion team when we went out to Nationals. When we bowled the Journal, he shot a 774, I believe,
Wow.
for the senior side.
With just 2 balls?
Yep, 2 balls.
Nice.
It was impressive. I bowled that thing like 12 times, and I missed cashing in every event by 1. I'm just
Wow.
like,
I didn't bowl it this year.
yeah.
Or last year. I did the year before. Both pretty good.
That's probably the most bowling I've done in 2 days. I mean, because I went out, I was in and out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. All right, we have an updated leaderboard here. Tony Franklin is our leader at +205. Last year's champion.
Oh,
He's making his move.
nice.
Mike Bailey's at +199. In second, Scott Myers is in third at +198. Christopher Woolsey is in fourth at +174. Russell Hunt's in fifth at +167. Rich Corwin is in sixth. Did I say that already? At +164. Yeah.
Okay.
Dwayne Steinmetz is in seventh at +146. And rounding out the top 8 is Ricky Schisler at +131. Just below the cut, we have Clint Dacey at +123, Scott Roberts at +121, Chris Hibbets is at +120 and 11th. Steve Badavinik is at +105 and 12th. And let's see, Kevin Maloney is in 13th at +199. Dwayne Mellinger is in 14th at -2. Brett Cromwell is in 15th at -46, and rounding us out is Felix Garcia at -55. We've got 2 games left, basically.
Yeah, Chris Hibbets there picked up the 2.8, or I'm sorry, the 2.78 unconventionally way. Ooh. So Mellinger leaves a stone 7.
So now, with 2 games left, this 13 to 14 seems like it's given up some scores.
Mm-hmm. That's the hot pair.
Yeah.
15 and 16 is doing what 15 and 16 does, so.
Yeah. So Ricky's focus here is to make sure he stays above that cut line. Because he is the number right now. And that'll help him right there, throwing that strike. Yeah. Yeah. Wing bounces back from that 7-pin leave.
Maloney leaves a stone flat 10 over here. He was on 3 in a row. Russell Hunt looks like he went strike spur open.
Ooh.
Back door.
Ricky trips a 4-pin there. The old trip 4. Right-hander's best friend. That was more of a trip 4-7. So it's more of a right-hander to answered prayer. That comes up short.
So my better half was telling me that she bowled in college with Chris Ibbets.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, over in West Texas, I believe. Not West Texas. It was in Amarillo. For some reason, every time I talk about her college, I always think of West Texas, but don't ask me why. Yeah, she bowled with Mike Scroggins. She bowled with Kelly. She bowled with Wes. Hibbett's. Hibbett's wife, I believe. Forgive me, I don't remember her name, so. Okay. Leave it to this guy, right? I want to say her name's Jennifer, but.
Well, we'll forgive your failing memory.
That's okay.
And looking at our window here, it looks like Kevin Maloney's on the front 4? 3?
No, he went
Front
3, 10 pin miss, it looks like.
Oh.
Yeah. So the transition seems to be hitting some of the players, it looks like. So.
Seems Tony Franklin doesn't seem to be phased by it much.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Mike Bailey also on the left side.
I would say your top 3.
Yeah. Yep. I think they're they're locked into this round. I think we're both 4 more coming up, and they're going to be on fresh oil again. So
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
See what happens with the top 8.
Another
Wow, that's
210.
the third 210 that we've seen in less than 5 minutes.
On this side, anyway.
Yeah. I would venture to say that they're starting to creep a little bit left and just not getting any return.
Yep.
Will carry down.
Might have to adjust that ball speed just a touch.
Mm-hmm. That's the second 7-pin
that he's missed.
Ricky's missed. He missed one in the first game too.
Yep. That could be maybe only a second, but you never know.
Yeah, that's true. Second we've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's in 8th, so he's at plus 131. You don't climb up to plus 131 by missing 7 pins.
Well, that's true, but
I'm
he can
missing
also.
a lot of 'em.
Well, he can throw a lot of strikes too, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's like all of us. It's like I miss the 10 pin a lot, but I can also strike a lot. So, but if I miss a lot of 10 pins and I ain't striking, yeah, it's not a good day.
Yes, that's for sure.
It's one of those days where I'm trying to take myself out of it mentally, but find a way to get back into it.
Yeah. Oh, he did not like that. Dwayne did not like that. He knew that before it left his hand. He was already throwing them
Yeah.
up in the air.
Yep.
Yeah, Ricky's got to keep a close eye on Clint now because they're only 7, 8 pins apart. And they're bowling next to each other. So, oh,
Well, and right now, Dacey's got about a 20 pin lead on him.
yep. There's a 410.
Haven't seen that today.
Yeah, it looks like we're doing a little bit of fishing here in the transition games. It looks like Clint was at the new attention star. He threw left the 2-8.
That is the
No?
absolute
Is that
power.
the absolute power?
Yep, that is the absolute power. I don't think I had one of those. Oh, I didn't get one of those.
I haven't seen a lot. I haven't thrown one. I've seen a few go down the lane.
Maloney 4710.
Wow.
So it seems like we looks like 15 and 16 and 19 and 20 are our trouble lanes on this side.
Yeah. I would agree on that. But once we re-oil them up,
Could be a whole different story.
could be a different story.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like he ball changed. Clint Dacey.
Yeah. Wait a second. Is that a summit?
Possibly.
I couldn't see all the color.
Summit Peak.
Peak.
Rolls a 2.
Rolled the 2.
During the Senior Open, Angela was like, I rolled a 2 against Barnes.
But
That was like his highlight of the day. Like, I rolled a 2 pin against Barnes. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
wow, there's another 210 for Kevin. For Kevin Maloney. That's
Was that 2 this game?
2 this game.
Yeah, 1 on each lane.
That's not going to help his cause much.
So where's he at?
He's in 13th right now.
Oh, he's below the cut. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's been coming down
Yeah.
ever since we
He's been
started.
struggling.
So I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to say I'm 99% sure I know what the problem is, but it's just being able to control the transition. That's out the window. Oh.
That was
Yeah.
a 5 pin. I hope that wasn't out the window.
Well, I knew he would. He left, but that thing was so went to the right so quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. So yeah, it's just gonna be the player. I think the player that can control the transition when it comes to it is gonna be the winner of this.
Yeah,
So
I agree. But isn't that always the case?
it's more important than we think it is.
Yeah.
Much more important.
I think Mike Bailey's got a little bit of an advantage being on the left side.
Yeah, by himself.
And
I mean, he's only got one other
He's
person.
got one other
but-
person. And
But I'm going to say that they are both playing different parts of the left side.
you think
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe Steinmetz is right around 13, 14,
14. Yeah.
playing straight. And Bailey, I believe, is doing the same thing, but a little further
A
left.
little further left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him in a couple of games. Hibbett's not happy with that leave. Let's see, Clinton Dacey working on a strike. So Clint Dacey has chosen to use the absolute power on the right and the summit peak on the left. Not too happy about that.
What's the difference in the two balls?
The absolute power is a solid, I believe, asymmetrical, and the summit peak is symmetrical, pearl. But it looks like he's got a little surface on that one, on the summit peak.
So one's going to be earlier, one's going to be later.
Yeah, one a little more smoother.
Yeah.
So your absolute power is going to be a little more smoother throughout the lane. That was another thing we've talked a lot about too. Here's a word for you: procession. Understand the meaning of procession.
Isn't that just flair?
No. Well, in simplest terms, I guess.
Yeah. The earth processes. That's why it wobbles.
Yep. Alright, so Clint, let's see here. Clint can punch for 236. Can't see what Schistler's got him to. So, yeah.
Looks like he's putting the absolute power away. Looks like Dacey's putting the power away. Ooh. Ricky's not ready to give up his spot at the cut yet.
He can shoot 236 as well.
Yeah.
So they can both punch to shoot 236, and Schistler would have the advantage by 8.
Yeah. They would basically stay locked.
Yep.
Locked at where they're at.
Mellinger is trying to stop the bleeding.
There's another 210 210 combination. 2-4-10. And
There
that
it
was out the
is.
window.
Yep. Not
That's
sure.
a different ball than he threw on the right lane, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm a little confused on why, but to me it seemed like the ball motion was the same on both lanes.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Oh, nice
great.
cover. Dwayne gets a kick off the back to cover that spare.
Well, puts a band-aid on that hemorrhage.
Yeah.
So.
That's not usually how you cover that
No.
one. You usually hit the pin first.
Yep.
But in crunch time, you'll take them any way you can get them, right?
Yep. So Russell Hunt's working on 4 in a row, going into the 10th, or in the 10th. Speaking, goes high for a 3. So right now, you're what is that? 52. So Schistler can shoot 202 max. Hibbets can still shoot 230. 236. So it's up to Clint Dacey. Actually, both of them, to tell you the truth.
Actually, Hibbett's.
Or
He can only shoot 206. Dacey can shoot 236.
yeah.
Oh.
That's a ringer. So, yeah, so Schistler's got to hope Dacey matches him, basically. Chris Hibbets misses that 10 pin.
That hurts.
Yep, going into the 10th. He can shoot 174 at the most.
He's gonna go the wrong way. He's going into this game. He was a plus 120, so he was still in the mix,
Yeah.
close to the cut. Missing that 10 pin did not help.
What are we talking about? We still have one more to go. Anything can happen.
Well, some things can happen.
That's true. Well, it's also true. He just gave up on that. He's like, it's a strike. I already know it is. I hate that as a player, don't you? You go and do something crazy like miss the 10 pin, let it go, and then you're like, yeah, that's going to strike.
Yeah. Oh, and Dacey's he's making his move.
Yep. Yep.
Just threw it out there and walked away.
Yep, he knows. And you don't expect anything less from players at this level.
Yeah,
You
no.
just know.
Yep. I got up a little light, so Dacey's gonna shoot 220.
So that covers his spread that he needed. So
Yep. And it doesn't look like Ricky. Yeah, he can only shoot
202.
202. Yeah. So we'll have some movement on the leaderboard, or at the cut line anyway. I haven't seen where Scott's at this game, Scott Myers.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him
He's,
down on the other end.
I thought I saw him throw a couple strikes at the window there, so I think he's probably in good shape. But I think your top three right now are looking pretty
Pretty set.
solid.
Yeah.
I didn't see what Christopher's doing this game. I don't have him on a camera. Or I just haven't seen the camera he's on. Is that an idol?
Idol or Ion?
Huh?
What?
That Ricky just threw.
I think that's an Ion.
Which one's the eye on?
The new one.
Oh, see, I'm so far behind the time.
That one right there.
You
Top
think?
shelf. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It looks like that to me.
Which one? No, that's
No?
not.
Oh no, you're right. It is.
Yeah, it's
the-
not bright enough.
You're right. When he gets down there close to the pin deck, it looks more purple than. See how it looks purple when it goes through the pins?
That it might be, but it looks. I don't know, man. From here,
Here
when
on the approach, when he picks it up,
yeah,
it looks darker, doesn't it?
It looks like an Ion, yeah.
What's the ion? Is that a That's going to be the replacement for the.
Let's see. It's multicolored, so
Yeah.
yeah. So that is not an idol.
Definitely has purple in it.
And Schistler can shoot 212. That was our
Yeah,
fault.
yeah, with that fan being in the way. That makes sense. 209.
You know what that could be? That could be infinite.
You think?
Maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe an infinite or a ion.
All right.
I'm not sure. I don't know. That ion's pretty good though.
That's the replacement for. It's going to be the new benchmark ball, right?
Correct. New
Which is-
asymmetric benchmark. So,
ASIM.
I like the motion on it.
What's the core on it?
You remember the old? It looks kind of like the physics core. A little bit different though.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. All right, so we're going to take a quick break while we move lanes.
So we're starting game 6 here. Right?
Yep.
All right.
And with that being said, I will be right back.
I will as well.
All right, we're back real quick. Got some some updated standings after Game 5. We are looking at Mike Bailey continues to lead at plus 223, followed by Tony Franklin at plus 209. Scott Myers is at plus 205, and he's in third. Rich Corin is in fourth at plus 190. Russell Hunt in fifth and plus 189. Chris Woosley at plus 158. Dwayne Steinmetz at plus 148. And right now your cut is Clinton Dacey at plus 146. Followed by Scott Roberts at 131. Followed by Badavinik at 131. Chris Hibbets at plus 129. Ricky Schishler at 105. Kevin Maloney is at plus 69. Dwayne Mellinger is at minus 29. Felix Garcia at minus 69. And Brett Cromwell at minus 87. So, we are now in Game 6, your final game. This is going to be do or die for some of the players right around, well, we'll say 6th through 11th, roughly. So, yep. Those players got a good shot at getting in there still, or staying in there. One notable, Kevin Maloney has just been on a downward spiral since this morning. I'm not sure what happened there, so one of those deals, I guess.
$15 and $16 is tough. That pair, it's jumped up and kind of bit Scott Myers there the first couple frames. And Mike Bailey just, he went front 3 and then 7 count.
And Mike Bailey is your leader.
He is the leader. And Scott Myers is in third.
Oh, you got one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Same.
okay.
Ah.
The truth comes out.
The old Robbie math.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
that took the long way around. Is that another 210? Yeah.
Yeah.
210's popular today.
Yes, very popular.
It's a pretty good ball. Yeah, Mike Bailey's having a strong showing this weekend. Nice cover there by Tony Franklin.
Backup ball.
It's last year's champ pulling out all the stops.
I don't know if that's correct or not. It says it's 75 degrees outside. All I know is I walked out of this pro shop and just got instant chills.
Yeah, I just stepped outside to
warm up.
Break, just to warm up a little bit. Yeah. And it's nice outside. I'd say it's probably a little bit warmer than 75.
Yeah.
I'm not a thermometer, so.
Yeah, me neither. All I know is it's cold. All I know is it's hot. Alright, Scott Myers looking to clean up a 10-pin. Myers is in third place.
I think he's in good shape to make the 8, but he'd like to have a strong finish here.
And then after this, they bowl, what, 3 more games or 4?
I think it's 4.
4 more?
For the guys at the top, the idea here is to pile as many points on or as many pins on top of whatever
What
your
you
lead
can,
is
yeah.
to make sure that you're in that top 4.
Oh,
Wow.
that's crazy.
That was a really good shot. And see, there's that one that didn't deflect.
Correct. But I think he's in the right part of the lane now
Yep.
because that ball's
Yep.
reading truer,
Yeah.
if that's even the way to say that. The ball's reading correctly. I noticed a lot of players are right around, 10, 11, 12, 13?
At the break point.
Yeah. And so they're seeing the most amount of friction at that point. So, and when you see that much friction, it's possible that you're either being tricked to thinking that it's slick.
Yeah.
So, because your ball pretty much burns up. Yeah, you might have that.
Oh, you give it a run. Who was that almost left the 5-pin in between the 2
That
and
would've-
the 8?
Would have been Roberts.
An odd pinfall on the 5 there.
Yeah. And Scott Roberts is going to need every pin that he can get.
Yeah.
It looked like he went Spur Open 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 2-8-10. Or, I'm sorry, 2-8. Mike Bailey with a slow messenger.
Where is Rich sitting? He's in 4th. 190. Yep. Yes, I think we're seeing everyone in front of us here is in the top, right?
Yep.
With
You
the
got-
exception, no, okay.
No,
They're all in the cut.
no.
Ooh, that's a nice shot there by Tony. And Tony's your pick, isn't he, Rob? He's looking for the back-to-back here. Scott just can't seem to kick that 10 out.
That was a ringer.
That was a ringer, yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty sure there was no doubt about that one being a ringer. I mean, it's like slow motion.
Yeah.
I was like,
It looked like it almost wrapped around twice.
yep. I don't think I'm trying to remember like Randy Peterson's line. You know, I think what did it went out for burger and fries,
Yeah.
comes back with steak and potatoes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anybody do that today yet.
No, you're not going to lean it way out there and and get it to come back.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
That's one of those 1% chances. So, which on that one?
Yeah, I don't think that's.
That ain't gonna happen.
I think if anyone was going to do it, it'd be
Roberts.
It'd be Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah. might come back with the steak. I don't know if he'll bring the baked potato with it.
Probably not.
That's a
Interesting.
A shaker. And at the arrows, he was inside a 20 with that one.
And he was at about 7 at the second range marker. So Myers makes a ball change and comes in light.
And leaves a 210. He was better off just leaving 10.
Yeah. Interesting.
He's going to take a seat and think about that for a minute.
Roberts goes high.
What's Steve doing here? He's had a rough morning too, hasn't he?
Much better shot by Corin.
Ooh, Scott went for it.
So he can lose.
He's
He can shoot 192.
he's going to lose pins
Yeah.
no matter what this game.
And he can just hope that he shoots 192 and only lose 8.
Yeah, that's a good ball right there. See, that one split the 8-9.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Trust me, I know. But yeah, I think Franklin and Corin are doing the right things now.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, they've moved left. They're a good zone or so, maybe zone and a half left of everybody else. So.
Yeah. They're letting the lane tell them what to do.
Yep. Boom.
Ooh.
That was a 1-3-5-9.
That was all of them down. That's what that was.
We'll put it that way.
I believe we call that 10 back.
10 in the pit.
10 in the pit. Mike Bailey is putting an exclamation point on this round of 6 games.
Wow, that was the left-handed version of that too. He's got some room. It looks like.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one I've seen him miss a little left. So. Boom.
Ooh, that was not the
No.
1-3-5-9.
No, that was the 1-3-5.
That was the 1-3-5-4.
1-3-5-8.
No, I think it was continuing a little farther. That's a bucket. And Scott is fit to be tied on that pair. And that is the championship pair.
So Franklin shoots 224. That's going to put him at plus 53, 253. Let's say he's pretty much good.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mike Bailey's he's pushing it, yeah.
So next up would be Corin. He can shoot 225 and only gain 1 pin on him.
Yeah. But that in any number of pins you can pile onto that total is going to help in the next round. It's going to shake out kind of interesting because Scott Myers is going to drop.
He's going to drop at least 20.
At least.
Yeah. So he went.
There he got the 10 out.
Ooh, that's
That hurts. He had a chance to swap positions, and now he's.
drops
think he's-
8. So it's 182.
I think he's still
then-
192. So he drops.
So puts him at 182.
Yeah. Scott. Scott's going to strike out here for 182.
Yeah.
So that's going to drop him 18. They're going to be real close.
That's going to put him at 192 or something like that, 193.
Yeah. Yeah, that was missing that 10 pin was a mistake because
Yeah.
Rich could have gone around him. I mean, it's always a mistake, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
costly mistake. Just like that. So he's potentially going to hold his position there, depending on where's Russell at. Russell Hunt. Is it
He's on the other
189?
end, yeah.
Do we have a
Hunt.
Russell Hunt.
All right, Mike Bailey. Oh. So Bailey's going to shoot 250,
Yeah.
No, 260. No, 250.
No, 250.
Yeah.
250, whatever count, 256 if he spares and strikes. Oh. Yeah. We sent our producer out to get us an update on Russell. Thank you.
I think we're good. Thank you very much. All right, so Corin's going to be plus 280-ish, maybe?
Yeah.
Or, let's see, or
20 plus 50 is 79? 279,
so
right?
it goes 56, yeah. Okay.
Okay, that
Well, that's the first error I've seen him. No, well, so it's now. So
53, so he's going to be at 76. 276.
I'm going to say he's safe at the top.
Yeah.
And he's opened up a big lead, basically going up.
Yep.
Everybody behind him kind of fell a little bit, except for Franklin. Franklin gained 20 pins on him, I believe.
Yep.
So
we'll have some scores here in a minute. He's at 167. Or he shot 167. Oh, Russell shot 167 that game, so that hurts.
he was at, what, 89?
Yep.
So he loses 30, so 50. Ooh, it's going to be close.
Yep. Things are getting tricky around the cut line.
Looks like Dwayne Steinmetz shot 166, so
Wow.
that's going to drop him. That's 30
He's
pins
going to
out.
drop out.
Oh, yeah, he drops out.
Would Ricky shoot?
I couldn't
Do we
tell
see
you.
him anywhere?
No.
Well, we'll have scores coming up here. in
Then
a
looks
minute.
like you have a 192 over there as well for.
Once we verify all the numbers, we'll let you know what it takes to make it to the top 8 players. 8 players return. We'll say 12 o'clock. We'll start going back to shots. Let's go for 12 o'clock.
Okay, so they just finished everything up. They're going to get some.
Those 4 games scheduled at noon.
Scores here. We'll get you an update here shortly, and then we're going to take a short break in about 10 minutes. So bear with us.
see if I wake up.
It's 3 tournaments in a row where if I miss a puck, it's a offense. There's nothing I can do. I don't know what to do with it. Doesn't matter what ball I try. Doesn't matter what angle. Doesn't matter. Yeah, but even when I missed yesterday, it was split.
Same thing?
I just missed one.
At least you're honest.
So that was, it's all on me. I mean, I'm not, it's on me.
Oh, yeah.
Purely. Look, I just don't, is my role that bad? Do I need to change my whole role so I don't fucking do that?
No. I would say it's a cool game sometimes.
Yeah.
In my last,
Yeah, we'll worry about it.
I saw today. No.
1933,
I think I'm first out.
14,
I think I'm first out. I think.
47 days, the last 47 days.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be, I mean, it's me, so I don't.
We figured I needed this. Well, I always figured I needed this right.
It's not the ball, it's not the condition.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to do this. Me too, bro. Yes and no. I mean, it's.
But it's too consistent for it not to.
I'm just bad.
3 different settings, 3 different.
My 2 cents today, my speed variation was so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, my ball roll was no different than yesterday, but if it was a half a mile an hour off or a third of a mile an hour off, it was a completely different ball reaction. So you don't throw it bad. I mean, it could have been that simple.
And
that's the one thing Zach beats on me, not beats on me, but just consistently reminds me. We got to get you in a place that is repeatable ball speed wise. I don't give a shit about your rev rate. What's your ball speed?
it's your ball speed.
Yeah, it's everything to you with the equipment. If you consistently can copy your ball speed within a third of a mile an hour, sure, you'll be good.
You'll be good.
You'll be real good.
Yeah.
And I don't do that.
Well, not many.
So,
I don't
yeah,
apparently do it.
And honestly, most people don't because they don't have to. Most conditions don't make you. You know.
You know, I bowl 1 day a week with my wife when I can get there, and I don't bowl in the summer. So,
Yeah.
like Zach's like, your expectations need to really come back down to toddler level. He's good to have in my life.
Yeah, Zach's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's such a good guy.
Yep.
Shit, like first or second out.
But I think he's got some there because I mean, to me,
Buried a lot today.
no, but I mean,
But I mean, I don't know why I just throw it right out the window. I have no idea.
but there were times really that I thought.
I agree. When really I was
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I want to say I wasn't.
No.
Focused on watching that and stuff as much, but you know,
Here are the official numbers. Currently leading the tournament at plus 276, Mike Bailey. Your other qualifiers. Second place, Tony Franklin. In third, Scott Myers. Fourth place, Rich Corwin. Fifth place, Christopher Woodley. Sixth place, Ricky Schisler. Seventh, Clint Dacey. And eighth place, officially plus 156, Russell Hunt. Players failing to advance, I'll have your checks in just a very few minutes, and those who
Okay, after the round of 16, advancing to the round of 8. Mike Bailey was your leader. Second, Tony Franklin. Third, Scott Myers. Fourth, Rich Corin. Fifth, Christopher Wosley. Sixth, Ricky Schisler. Seventh, Clinton Dancy. And eighth, Russell Hunt. And he was plus 156 was the number to advance to the top 8. Again, they're going to recondition lanes, get a set. We'll be starting again at noon, is what we were told. So noon it is. We will see you then.